Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, look at this sneaky layout that StreamYard has chosen for us this time. I kind of like this. We can actually see our backgrounds. I think usually usually it would be something like this. I like Tyler Cam. Maybe we should just keep Tyler Cam. That's good.
And John, you and me just be quiet here and we'll let Tyler do everything.
Yeah, that's right. I think
Maybe on Flutter,
be the case when we hit Flutter that we will be definitely a lot more silent than we are currently. I don't know if this has helped. We had some tech problems, and thankfully, because we have that like 5 minutes of intro music, I went and reset my whole router, or called my wife inside and got her to reset the whole router.
Yeah, look, it's much improved.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So much better.
So yeah, it might get bad again. I don't know. Maybe my Australian internet is just very, very bad, but hopefully it'll stay okay for a little bit. So hey, welcome to Happy Hour number 7. This is 7 weeks running now, which is very exciting, or even kind of 8 weeks, because we kind of did one stream before we really branded this as the Supabase Happy Hour. So yeah, 8 weeks strong. That's it's very cool.
At a new and improved time, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yes. So we do have a brand new time. So we're now, I mean, you probably will have noticed this if you're watching us right now live. Probably we're like, you may be watching us now on the archive video being like, why wasn't I told? Where were you people? But we've moved it 2 hours earlier to try to accommodate our good friends over in the US. They still need to stay up a little bit late. But yes, we can now get the evening time on Thursday for our US friends. And it's a reasonable time for APAC. Unfortunately, I think most of Europe, it's probably a very, very bad time, but
can't make everyone happy, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why we have the archive video for you to check out later and watch it whatever time is happy hour for you. Or even if you're in America and you're like, Thursday night isn't really the happiest hour for me, I'm going to watch this tomorrow. You can choose to watch it whenever you want. That's up to you.
Yeah. Speaking of, where's everyone tuning in from?
Oh,
We always like to ask at the beginning of these, and what time is it for you?
Yeah, and I wonder whether we're going to. Yeah, I wonder whether we're going to get some people that we haven't seen before, like possibly Rob Cameron from Redwood.js fame, who's tuning in from the US.
California, nice.
Is Pacific Coast at least, so California.
So
like
8 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
8-ish.
I'm not 8-ish.
Is that right? What time?
Apparently, yep. San Diego, 8 p.m. here. There you go.
Nice.
What's up, Rob? How are you going?
It's not so kind for the Eastern time folks in the US. It's 10 p.m. But, if you've got Friday off, then right now is probably the happiest hour of the week. We have Jason coming to us from New York City and going to sleep. That's totally reasonable.
Good night.
Good night. Sleep well. Check out the stream tomorrow. We will have maybe built something. Maybe. We'll see.
It depends on how fast you can type, John.
That's true. That's true. We've got a long list because we decided to kind of brand this one as the final Next.js one. This is the one where we're going to finish our real-time chat application in Next.js, which is not going to happen. We're definitely still going to be doing Next.js next week, but we've come up with a long list of the things that we would need to do, and we'll see how far we get. So it's 8:40 a.m. in India. That's awesome. And Missouri, it is 10 p.m. So yeah, maybe this time does work a little bit better. If you do join us regularly for our stream that used to be 2 hours later than this, let us know in the chat if this time works for you, works equally well, works better. And yeah, hopefully we've found a good time that is a good compromise for most people. 11 p.m. in Atlanta, so maybe not the best time for
maybe bedtime, but yeah, thanks for tuning in though.
Good to have you all with us.
Yeah.
So if this is your first one, or if you haven't been here for a while, or if you're Thor and don't know us really, really well, let's do a quick introduction of who we actually are and what we're doing here. So my name is Jon. I am a developer advocate at Supabase. And yeah, I guess we'll tell you what we're building soon, but that's me. Who are you guys?
We'll do you one better, Jon. We'll show you what we've been building. But yeah, I'm Alaister. I've been helping out with the Happy Chat application. I'm still not a DevRel though. You can usually find me on the front end or sometimes the storage team. You can tell I like to move around a bit. No, it's great. So yeah, we'll hopefully be finishing today. We could do whatever state we end up in. We could just like say that's it. That's what you're getting. But
Okay.
who knows? We'll see where we end up. And,
Yeah.
And
the
Tyler,
more curveballs we throw, though, the more crazy things Tyler has to implement in the Flutter.
Flutter.
And we're not going to know anything about Flutter, so I have a feeling we're going to be much less patient about it taking as long as the Next.js side has taken. So
yeah, Tyler, you've got one stream to do it.
That's right. You get one, maybe 2 streams.
That'll be great. Fast forward. Yeah, but yeah, everyone, I'm Tyler. I am a DevRel at Supabase, and I usually do a lot of stuff on the Flutter side of things. But I also enjoy coding in Next.js. So yeah, I really enjoy this session with Jon and Alaister and sometimes Thor.
Yep. Awesome. So some other quick shout outs for cool stuff that's happened this week. Ooh, this is a different layout too. Do we want this layout or this one? I feel like this one. This one means it will be out of the way. This is not a new thing. We don't need to shout out Supabase. That's here every week. So today, Matter Day launched. If you haven't seen it, Netlify have put together I believe they've written a book, which would be very cool to check out as well. But yeah, basically just talking about how much more efficient it is to use something like Netlify instead of rolling all of that yourself. And so I worked on the back end of this. You can see up the top, there's a beautiful little Supabase logo next to the Netlify logo. Awesome team to work with. And this page just looks amazing. Shout out to Lynn Fisher, who was the designer I was working with on she was building out all of the front-endy things and making it look nice. And I was just making the Supabase side work. So if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a login with GitHub form. And if oh yeah, cool. I have logged in on this browser before. So then you can say what you would spend that extra day a week doing. So I'm going to say more happy hour streams, obviously.
Yep, good shout.
Yeah.
And then when we submit that, that's going to go and write to the Supabase database. It generates an OG image, which took an surprisingly long amount of time to learn Cloudinary's API for how we do this. But now if I take this, actually I guess I'll just tweet it directly. So if I tweet that, I'm not signed in.
Wrong browser.
If I were to tweet this from my other screen.
My Twitter is completely busted at the moment, by the way. I was trying to tweet a link to the stream and it was just like...
Oh, is that happening for everyone? Yeah, like it randomly logged me out as well. Okay, so maybe it is a glitch on the Twitters and then...
We can just cheat and go to, that's all of us, that's all this stuff, and more of this stuff. All right, there's one I did earlier. So if I had an extra day a week, I would play more synthesizers or just play synthesizers. And so yeah, it uses the Cloudinary API to make this beautiful little card shareable thing. And then if you want to check out what everyone else is up to, you can see what others are saying and see what all of the cool people in web dev would be doing if they had some time off from their web dev jobs, which is, awesome.
Yeah.
It was a really fun project.
Awesome, yeah.
Make sure if you're in chat, jump on and tell us what you do with an extra day. It's pretty cool concept.
The next one I wanted to shout out is this extremely cool rememory game that has been created by Rob Cameron from Redwood.js. And this is a cool game of memory that's been written for, I don't know if if either of you have heard about this, but the Playdate, if I go to
Yeah.
Playdate, yeah, this is a
that.
super cool
Playdate.
like game console that is soon to be released, so it's still pre-order at the moment.
It's been coming for many years, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool. It's like a little Game Boy looking thing. They've got this like hand crank on the side where you can use that as like an extra input. And they actually worked with Teenage Engineering.
Teenage Engineering is just next level. Everything they make just looks amazing.
Yeah, they're very, very cool. They've made the OP1, which if you're into synthesizers, you may have seen this thing. But they also make the Pocket Operator 400, which is a cool modular synth that I would like to buy one day and play with lots. This is one of the things I would do if I had an extra day a week to play synthesizers. I would go and buy this from Pocket Operator, which kind of looks like the Playdate, but it's just the music version instead of the game version. Anyway, completely off topic. Rob has put together this awesome game.
He's giving us some behind the scenes info in the chat, which is super interesting.
If you pre-ordered last year or so, they are actually shipping now. Okay, cool, awesome. And I'm assuming if you say things like, "Hey, I'm going to build a game for you," then they'd probably express post you one. And speaking of synthesizers, all of the sound and music in the game were made with the Pocket Operator Arcade and then run through the Electron Digitact. Okay, awesome. So maybe Rob has a little bit of synthesizer experience too, which is very fun. So if you have one of these, you can sideload it. I don't even know what that means, but if you don't have one, you can install the SDK, which is what I did, and then you can just double click the game and play it. So I thought I'd quickly just show off how cool this game is. I don't know if I have sound. I'm assuming you can see sound. But yes, we can click these buttons. You can also input, I think, with arrows, and also I'm assuming press A and S. And so nailed it. All right. I didn't plan this ahead, but yeah, that's very cool. And so, yeah, you basically go through, and on the left here, you have a list of all of the cool different things that you can find. One of them being these special people right here. Let's see if we can at least find one logo.
That looks like Firebase. Jon, you
oh,
there's a Supabase.
Yeah, there's a Supabase.
We got a Babel. We got a
Stripe. Was it
Webpack? Netlify,
I'm sure there is a
render.
Oh,
there's the other Supabase. Here we go. There, we've done it.
Yay.
Supabase is an author database provider. Your application needs a database, and Supabase is just the thing. An open source Firebase alternative compatible with PostgreSQL. They can also host your authentication client, provide storage, and more. So yes, thank you for the very lovely shout out, Rob. That is very cool.
Cool game.
And
I'm into it.
Yeah, awesome.
it's very, very cool. And I was also given a little hint that I thought maybe I would do live on the stream here, that apparently there is a Konami code little special hidden Easter egg. So I haven't actually seen this yet. So I hope it's suitable for work and all of those things. But we're gonna go up, down, left, right, B, A. Ooh, it just gives you all the answers.
That's helpful.
Wow.
That is very cool.
That's very cool.
All right, enough playing games and things.
What's it called? The Konami code?
Yeah, Konami code.
I used to put that into all of my web apps just as a joke. It would just show some fun thing, but as a result, I've got it completely memorized. I think a lot of people do, but it's a great one to have in all of them. So,
for anyone,
for
anyone that's like too young to know what we are talking about, if you go back to like old school like Nintendo games and early computer games, arcade games, they had this little sequence here of up, down, left, right. BA was a secret little code that usually unlocks some kind of Easter egg in the game. So it's very cool that Rob included that. Also, I was very disappointed that I spent the time commenting or reacting with this set of emojis, and Slack gave me nothing. So got some improvements to make over there.
Yeah.
And we have Rob has a tiny bit of experience, just recently got into them. Well, yes, I can give you a whole list of synthesizers that you should buy, even if you have no time to play them like me. And that started as a debug tool so that I could solve the game quicker and then turn into a cheat code. Yes, that is that's a good call.
Yeah.
To have a way that you don't need to sit there testing your memory every single time you want to check everything works, especially like end game states. I imagine that would be pretty frustrating to go through. All right, so go give that a try. Have some fun. Another shout out for the Replit Ventures Builder Kit. We mentioned these in the last 2 streams as well, but they are putting together a collection of grants and mentorship and a whole bunch of cool pro access features from all of these cool people, like these cool people. And yeah, basically giving you all the tools you need to get an idea of something that you want to build off the ground. And if you scroll down here to apply to RV1, you can step through putting through your application for that, which is awesome. I also wanted to mention that we have these auth helpers, which, yeah, the DevRel team has been working on. There are basically, this is just a way to make it slightly easier dealing with cookies and server-side things when you're using Supabase and a framework that has some kind of server logic. So something like Next.js with API routes, SvelteKit with, I don't actually know what the SvelteKit server bits are, but like Remix with loaders and actions. Yeah, if you've ever tried to use those with Supabase and you have RLS enforcing all of your authorization rules, you may have run into some issues where local storage is not available on the server side. So we want to make that a little bit easier. So we're building out some auth helpers, and at the moment the Next.js ones are deployed and in prod and ready to use, and the SvelteKit ones, unless I'm dropping some big secret thing and maybe shouldn't be mentioning it yet, but you're going to hear all of the fresh drops on the Happy Hour stream. We have just released, I believe, the SvelteKit ones. So yeah, go check out this GitHub repo. Go build a project with using Supabase auth in SvelteKit or Next.js, and hopefully I will have the remix ones finished in some time. More updates.
Awesome,
some
yeah.
arbitrary amount of time. It'll be like these streams, John. Will be like, oh, it'll only be a few episodes, and then
Yeah.
7 episodes later.
Yeah, that's right. And if you missed it yesterday, Thor and I actually started building these out. So you can go watch this and see how incredibly bad I am at TypeScript and how much I blame TypeScript for my problems, instead of understanding that, I'm the problem and TypeScript is always right. And it ended up saving us at the end, as it always does. So thank you, TypeScript. I also put together a blog for using row-level security to limit the number of rows inserted by a particular user. So Alaister, you can judge my solution here, but basically there is a table for teams. This has a relationship to the auth.users table. So basically we have a user in the auth.users table and then a teams table, and we want to limit the number of teams that an individual user can create. And so, this could be just for trying to avoid, racking up big fees on your AWS bill, or it could be a monetization feature where you unlock these different things at different tiers. But I wanted to look at how you would do that with a row level policy. And so I ended up coming up with this. I went through many, many solutions. But basically, if we start with the middle, it's just counting up all of the teams where the creator is the person who's currently signed in. Then using that as a subquery to say, select one from that thing and giving it the alias teams created. So basically just looking up, give me back true if the teams created for this user is less than 3, and then giving that to exists. Is this a good way to do it, Alaister?
Yeah, why not?
Excellent.
It's funny because I actually had this exact same problem with the example app I was building for Melb.js the other day, where it's a movies reservation app, and I did it in a completely different way. And then I could have done with this blog post. I did it in just a Postgres function and not using RLS. And then Koppel was being like, hey, Alaister, why didn't you do it John's way? John's way is better.
I wrote this like 2 days ago. You mean like it was
I know.
that
So
recent?
I wrote the app before this blog post was out. So what I'm saying, John, is you got to write quicker. You know, so
it is
we
my
can all
fault.
benefit.
I know. But yeah, that's
Actually,
the thing. I was looking into solutions, and yeah, all I could find was writing a Postgres function and a trigger. And I was thinking, this feels like something you should be able to do with a row level security policy. And initially, I thought maybe I could use a check constraint, since we've been loving those on this stream. But then realized I can't do a subquery in a check constraint, and I also I don't think I can actually detect who the currently signed in user is in a check constraint, because that's running separate from the.
I wouldn't know.
Okay,
yeah, it makes sense.
Let's roll
it
with
makes
that.
sense. But
basically,
no,
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a good little shout out, actually. I probably should have put that in the doc before this. That Paul Copplestone, our CEO, did a talk recently at Next.js, the meetup. Everyone was asking after you, John. It's going, sorry, he's sick. But we did, met some people who watched the stream, which was awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
Thanks for coming out. But
cool.
I will post. I did record the talk, but if you want we can do a little demo on stream now. If you go to quickticks.vercel.app, Tyler and John, anyone else on the stream can as well if you like.
What is that again?
Quickticks, TIX, and then if you sign in with GitHub or whatever, we can try and book some movies in real time or some seats.
All right.
So if you go to everything, we'll do everything everywhere because it's got more seats available.
Oh, that's very cool.
Oh,
if I reserved these seats on, I've got to log in as well. There you go. Hopefully, with a bit of luck, reserve 3 seats. There you go. You saw them go.
So, yeah, there we go. Wow, that's awesome. So as soon as you click on them,
there's a button at the bottom that says reserve.
Okay.
I'm taking all the seats that you're taking, John.
That's just mean.
Get
that one seat. We're losing all the seats. That is very cool. So what's
this is awesome.
So this is Next.js. It's more of an example if you want to learn how to use React Query with Supabase. Yeah, that's where we work, isn't it? Yeah.
What's that thing called again?
No, but it's a little example app. So the talk is up on YouTube, but it hasn't been chopped up yet. So you can find it if you just search for Next.js on YouTube. But we will release a nicer, one where you don't have to scan through the 3-hour recording to find the talk. But yeah, it's a fun little app. The source code is on, I think it's at github.com/kiwikoppel/Supabase quickticks.
Supabase quickticks?
No dash.
As in just for ticks or Supabase as well?
No, just for ticks. There you go.
Nice. We'll chuck that in here as well. Nice. Awesome. I forgot to put all of the links to all of the other blogs in the all of the other things that we were talking about before. I could have just linked them in the chat. But someone is asking, hey, this is the Supabase official stream. Yeah, kind of. Like we've decided it's official. We all 3 of us work at Supabase, and so you've kind of like you've got us locked in a room for at least 2 hours. So if you do have any questions, anything you need to vent about, or anything that you need a quick solution to, we've got a pretty good coverage over all of the Supabase things here. So yeah, ask your questions in the chat. Cool. So, that GitHub repo for all of the cool Postgres real-timey, auth databasey stuff. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, well, I'll probably do a walkthrough video as well at some point, but just got to find a minute.
Awesome. But
back to it.
Time for the real thing, the real reason we're here today. So for anyone who has not been watching, this is what we have been building out very, very slowly. And our overall goal was to build a real-time chat application and implement it in a web app framework, and then look at implementing the same chat app in a mobile framework using the exact same Supabase backend. So in the first stream, we had not planned anything, and so we left it up to the chat as to what we were going to build this in, and it was very, very close. Remix and Next were neck and neck, but we ended up choosing, well, people ended up very aggressively choosing Next.js for us, and so yeah, we are building the first part, and while we're building out the Next.js app, obviously implementing the Supabase project that's driving that. And then our goal is, once we finally get finished with the Next.js part, which is a running joke that we have been, basically we've meant to have wrapped the Next.js one. We probably thought it was only going to take us 1 or 2 streams to implement the Next.js side. And so far it's taken us 7. So, well, I guess there was one where Koppel came on. Where really,
yeah, that one does count.
Yeah, maybe 6. And we have Innes here.
As always.
Oh yeah.
Here. Well, I was starting to worry. You've been here for every single stream. I was worrying that maybe us moving it 2 hours earlier meant that you could no longer make it. But Innes is here. I tried to find you on Twitter to give you a swag code, and I couldn't. So please DM me at Jon Meyers _IO, and I will hook you up if you haven't been hooked up yet, because yeah, you've been here for everyone, so thank you. And even Thor and I's struggle yesterday through the remix auth helpers. Cool. So this is our remix. It has at the moment a collection of rooms. So this is something that we need to fix, is this overflowing thing. But, yeah, that's easy.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Just ignore that. It's fine. So we have a list of all of the rooms that I am able to see. Or if you're logged in, then the ones that you are able to see. If you don't see anything, you probably need to /register and create a new account, which there is absolutely no hint that you need to do that in any way, which is probably something else we should fix in this stream. And then after you've done that, you'll still have no feedback, and you'll need to know that you need to navigate to the login route and go and log in. And then when you go back to the landing page, you'll be able to see, well, you won't see any rooms because you probably won't be in any rooms. So then the next bit that we have no feedback to tell you is that you need to click new room, and that will go and create a room. In fact, if I do that now, it's going to create a room. I'm going to invite Tyler to this room.
Or is it Tyler 2?
Yeah, it's Tyler 2.
Tyler 2. And we will also do Alaister. And yeah, hopefully you guys will have access to this now. And if anyone else wants access, let me know. But yes, Alaister's in, Tyler's in, I am in as Thor, obviously. Oh, but something cool happened there that I don't know if you caught it, if the refresh was fast enough or whether my Wi-Fi was fast enough. I'm not going to be able to show it again because now it's gonna be cached. But this name showed loading for a second, and then it flashed in with Thor. And so
you did with Tyler's as well. It's cool.
So this is an awesome little feature that Tyler took us through, where we can, or an awesome solution, I guess it's not a feature of Supabase, but a cool solution where you can caches who have currently, who you've already fetched in this chat. And then if someone new joins and they write a message, at that point, you want to show the message straight away, but you don't actually have all of the information that you need. You don't actually know their username because we need to go and look it up in a different table. And so being able to show it straight away with this loading state means that as soon as we have the actual user out to the user, and then and then anytime they write another message, that's going to show up instantly with their name. So yeah, just a cool little trick, which you can check out in the GitHub repo if you want to go and look at the code. But yeah, so we have these private rooms. It is cool indeed. So if anyone else tried to go to this room, they wouldn't actually be able to see the messages, and they wouldn't. Would they be a level policy for that?
I think we set it up with a row level policy, so you can only do stuff in a room if you're a member of the room. So if you're in chat and you've made a Happy Chat account, post your username in chat, and as we go along, we'll try and add you to all the demo rooms we make.
Oh yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so this is an implementation of private rooms for real-time chat stuff. And so yeah, only people who have been invited into a room by the creator of the room, or anyone who is also in the room, will be able to see the messages or type anything, which, yes, very, very cool. So we have kind of like a list of things that we could implement. So there are a few issues. We've got this overflowing thing. We probably want to like add some loading text when we're loading these rooms, just because it doesn't have anything, and then they kind of just flash in when we have that data back. So maybe just some kind of state saying that we're doing something. We have no auth workflow whatsoever. So like I was saying before, you just need to know that you need to go to /register and create an account, or /login and log in. So we probably need to tidy that up a little bit. There's no way to name a room outside of going to the database. So all of these ones are untitled, except for the rooms that we've manually gone in and given names to in the database. Maybe a way, like if we click into one of the rooms, maybe this shows the room name, and then you're able to update it. Maybe just as the owner would be cool. And yeah, maybe some placeholder text for these inputs that have no suggestion as to what you're actually meant to do with them. We wanted to add some users to the left-hand side to show who's currently in a room, and maybe add search functionality where when you click on this username, it drops down a list of all of the people that you could add. And once all of that's implemented, we'll move on to the Flutter application.
Well, I feel like a lot. We could go like making the app good UX, or we can go with features. So I'm leaning towards features, of course, because who needs UX?
That's true. This isn't the Next.js stream. This is the Supabase Happy Hour stream. So yeah, Homie Coder's joining us again. Welcome back to the stream. And yeah, you're thinking there's an episode 8. I think there will definitely be an episode 8 still with Next.js. Although, are we just making a call now? Are we saying this is...
I reckon we can do the little UX things off stream and just push it to the repo, and at the very start of stream 8, before we jump into the Flutter stuff, we can just show, hey, look, we made these. Here's a loading state. We fixed the overflow problem. Like, who needs to see that?
I like it. All right. So what's our first feature that we want to implement then?
I'd like a user list. I think that's where I want to go, because who knows who's in what room. We just list out the users.
Cool. All right. So I probably need to actually run this locally. Hey. So I'm going to change into Happy Chat and run this one. Actually, I'll need to open as well. All stuff I could have done in my 5-minute preparation for this if I wasn't resetting my router. So many things. You're seeing behind the curtain. And we'll make this, that is full screen. All right. npm run dev. And we'll come back over to our application and open this up. Localhost. And maybe if it fetches some rooms, we'll see them here.
You got to log in. Oh, you are logged in.
Oh,
well
nice.
done.
Am I logged in as Thor again?
Oh, yeah.
I am. All right. Excellent.
Great.
I like when Thor can join us at least as a logged in account when he can't join us in the stream. Although he is in the chat as well. So yeah, Thor, maybe you should change your password because it's definitely leaked somewhere. So, hi, John. Is this still valid? Create a higher order function helper for server-side Supabase queries. I don't know where you've pulled that from. Is that
Sounds like a blog post title or something.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah, it
something that
does.
I did? If so, probably not. But yeah, let us know. All right. So we have our application here. We've got our rooms component. So this is where we want to be able to. Oh, we're doing a list, a listy list.
Yep, I think. Yeah.
All right. Where do we want our list to be?
I was thinking we could have like a, or maybe I was thinking we could have like a. Well, initially, I was thinking profile images, so we could have like a horizontal scroll thing at the top. But then I guess we don't have profile images, so that doesn't really.
But we
work,
do.
does it?
Oh, but we do. We could. Actually, that would be a cool thing to just sidestep and just, again, not finish the
More
application.
features.
User storage.
More features. No, we have the GitHub avatars. These are sitting in a.
We're not signing in with GitHub though, are we?
Right.
Oh, no,
Using
not.
email addresses.
What am I talking about? We do not.
We can. This is really going to blow the scope out though. We can
No, it's
use
not.
Gravatar emails. You
No,
can actually,
no.
no. But if you do want to see an example of that, you can look at the Quick Ticks application because that logs in with GitHub or with just email address. Yeah, you can tell my brain's on today. Can't remember anything.
But,
This is 2 hour earlier thing.
Email.
Yeah, I needed the beer later to get me going. But no, it when you log in, it hashes the email with MD5, which is, I don't know how many people have used Gravatar in the chat, but it essentially makes it work either with the GitHub avatar, or if that's not provided, it falls back to the Gravatar avatar. That's the sentence.
That's nice.
Yeah, but it's pretty neat. So have a look at that.
Very cool. Okay, so yeah, so we don't have pictures. So maybe we just do another ugly list.
Yep.
Yeah, and maybe
like
if we were, if we have, yeah, we're not going to have time, so never mind. But if we wanted to off stream, we could quickly implement how to sign in with GitHub as well if we wanted to, and then we could pull that from GitHub. Yeah. Actually, we could just no. All right, fine. Fine. We'll stay on topic. All right. A list of users. So do we want to do like a sidebar here?
Sidebar or under the message box, wherever. I'm not too fast.
Okay. Do we want this outside of the? I just don't know whether we're going to be able to make this look nice. Nice as this beautiful.
What about this? Instead of using profile images, we can just take the first 2 characters of the username and wrap it up in a circle to make it look like a profile image, and then when we hover over it, we can just show the full username, or we can show the full username like below it or something like that.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Should we show these in a list or should we show them down here? Let's show them underneath. Making a call.
Yeah. Like a horizontal scroll bar would be nice, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
so like
I'm into it.
Yeah.
All right. Where does this show up if I say hi? All right, outside of the whole thing. So we probably want it inside main. All right, that's where we want it. So we could probably just create a separate component for this, right? We could have user list, and that's probably going to need to know the room ID that we're currently looking at.
Nice. And Philip was tuning in from Brazil, but is going to sleep. Thanks for tuning in, Philip.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Definitely go to sleep. I assume it's not a very convenient time in Brazil. So thank you for joining us. So I'm going to create a new component for user list. TSX. What is this?
You're a new man, Jon. A changed man.
And I think we were just doing export function.
Export default, I think it would have to be, and with a name.
And this will be our user list.
It's freaking me out that the function doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
Function user list and then parentheses, right? Because if we ever use the React, like it does work, but if we ever use the React dev tools, it would just be like anonymous. And we'd be like, what is this?
I think it also helps us here if we want to say like user list. Yeah, like it gives us the actual name. Would it do that otherwise? No, because it wouldn't know.
Who knows?
Let's just go with that.
It's a bit like watching a slideshow for me and Tyler.
A bit, yeah. Internet has been a bit spotty, but
okay,
it's all right.
Interesting.
It's all right.
All right, maybe I'll just try to not change pages too much.
No, I don't think we've got any control over it. We just have to sit back and enjoy. You know, it's like a slower, like, you know, more chilled out vibe.
Yeah. We should all just start talking more slowly and just calm it all down so we can keep up. My internet can keep up with our pace. All right, so we would want to probably import some use effect. Oops, use effect from React. And we probably want our Supabase client. And then in use effect, we probably want to declare a get users function, which is going to be an async function. And that is going to on mount go and get all of our users that are currently in this room. So we're going to say const data, which can be users, is equal to await supabase.from our users table.
I think we call it profiles.
Profiles table. We want to select star, but we just want to get the ones that are in this room, don't we?
Maybe so we don't want to do the get here, and we can do it where we fetch the room and just make this a dumb display component, because then we can just fetch it as a relation. Well, let's make sure we can fetch it first.
Right, let's see if we can do that.
Do we need to fetch it at all? Like, we can just show whatever is in the profile cache of the message list or messages component, right? That should be. That's all the profiles within the message thread. So
that's also smart, because when we update that profile cache, it should
it's in real
automatically
time.
show new users. Yeah,
that is an excellent idea. So down here, instead of caring about our room ID, we are going to pass in our users, which is going to be our profile cache, I think it's called.
We changed the name about 3 times. I have no idea what it ended up being called.
Yeah, what is it called?
Something cache. Oh, do we not have this in? Oh, it's in our message, isn't it?
Right. Oh, okay. Oh boy.
We can just move the state up. Shouldn't be a. Because the nice thing about moving it up is we can just pass those 2 things in as props. Everything's fine. To messages, and then we can also pass it into users list. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Oh, and we've got to add it to the props. Messages prop.
I think, is it? No, I think this is just a. I can't remember. You have to show me the type or the messages. Yeah, messages props. Yep. Nice.
So we now want those 2. Cache. This is a
object with key string, and the value is curly braces with square brackets, square brackets.
You can just look. It's right
Oh,
below
yeah.
profile cache.
Oh yeah, right. So we could just.
Oh yeah. Okay. How did I miss
We
that?
can even just use that type. Although we'll probably move it if yeah.
This thing.
Well, all of those things. That's it. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Oh my God, where are we? Okay, so we want to have a. We don't need a profile. We just need a set profile cache and a profile cache, which can be set to
Profile cache.
profile cache.
Yeah. Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Nice.
Should I be putting semicolons here? What's your call on?
I think Prettier will get rid of them, right? If you save. There you go.
Thank you, Prettier. If that wasn't being enforced by Prettier, do you have a preference either way?
Why write extra characters if they're unneeded?
Same here.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. So this is now being passed into our messages component. We've got rid of all of the red, which is good. So now in our rooms where we are, yeah. So up at this level, this is where we're going to now need our, this is where we're going to need our use state variable. So this is going to be profile cache, and set profile cache.
The clipboard comes back to bite us again.
The object to begin with, wasn't it?
Good question.
Yep,
Don't remember.
Yeah, I believe so. I think initially it's just an empty cache, and then as we go...
no, you're not going back and undoing it, eh? Almost speak.
Because we need this, a profile cache.
Yep, should have just listened to Tyler. I passed out.
All right, here we go. And we're back. So now up here, we're not actually even going to be able to use this, are we? Because we don't have profile cache. So we need to...
I think, well, for now, we could probably, because they're just small enough types, we can probably just copy and paste them. But if we wanted to do it like really properly, we'd pull them out into another like types file or something like that. Because otherwise we'd have circular imports. I suppose it's not too hard to make a types.ts file somewhere.
All right.
Let's do that. Yeah, why don't we do that?
Do you usually do that as like a
we can put it in utils or util or lib or whatever we've got a utils folder. Just do types.
Is it .d something?
No, you just do .ts. It's fine.
Right. So we're going to export all of our types from here.
Yeah, we're going to move them over.
All right. All of these into
cleanups.
Types.
Nice.
And for this one, and this one, we want to export.
Sweet.
We need to import those dispatch and set state action from React as well.
In messages?
In types.ts.
Yeah.
Right. These ones. That's why it's red.
Yep. Do you want to, before you manually delete those, press Option Shift O. Here we go. This is my favorite shortcut.
Shift O.
Shift O.
Didn't work.
Unbelievable. It's because you've messed with VS Code and turned off all the thing. If you do Command Shift P and then just type organize imports, that's what the shortcut should be for. There you go.
Oh.
Ooh.
And John, you've done something to your VS Code. I'm convinced.
Wait, did that work? Shift Option O. That's what we did.
I said. Right? But it's just not working because you've done something to VS Code. I'm
broken everything. Yeah. When I used to be a dev, I remember back when I used to be a dev. I'm still a dev. Back when I used to be a dev, not a developer advocate, I always used to get VS Code in a state where someone much more experienced would have to come and fix it for me. All right, cool. So they're all exported from here. So then in our messages, we want to import. Oh, is there a magical way to just import all the things that are red?
Probably, but who knows?
What's the control? Oh, that's not
command dot is wait.
Command dot.
Yep. Or is this?
Doesn't know about it.
Huh.
That's right. We want to import from /utils/types. And then we want to import this one, and this one maybe, and maybe this one, and probably this one.
Nice.
And all the red's gone.
Great.
I think we've still got to re-import them in like the other files, though.
Yeah. So in here, all right. Again, /.
So you'll also need to delete that profile import from the messages because we moved it.
Cool. And now this one, and this one, and that one. I only need those two. All right. The trick didn't work as well that time. We need to bring in use state from React. Surely this one I can do that. Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah, nice.
Cool. And then just while we're in this file, let's pass these down through to our user list. So we've got a profile cache, and we've got set pro.
I don't think we need the set on this one because we're just displaying them, right? We could that's why you were calling it users, because you were just passing it in as a profile.
I was thinking messages will definitely need to set profile cache, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, we're in JSX, so you need to. You can't. There's no shortcuts here. Key equals value.
It's been a long day. All right, equals. Oh, I can't even do this. All right, there we go. Save. Everything's pretty. This doesn't like this because we haven't told it that it's actually coming in. So here we want a profile cache, and it probably doesn't know what that is.
We've got a type for it now, though, right?
Yes. We want to import from ... No, that's too many slashes.
Too many dots, too many slashes.
And we want to bring in our profile cache, and this is going to be a profile cache.
Is it going to be profile cache colon? Yeah.
Profile cache what?
In the type, that's invalid TypeScript. You need profile cache colon profile cache.
Yep.
One with a lowercase, one with an uppercase. Yeah. Nice.
Sweet.
Show what's in the profile cache. I'm going to say JSON string profile cache and null and 2 to make it look nice.
Nice.
And now we should be seeing it.
It should be good, yeah.
An empty object.
Well, what chat are you in?
Who knows? There we go. All right. So that's got Thor, Tyler, and Alaister.
Nice, nice.
So now,
do we want to just call object.values on the profile cache that we pass in? I think that'd be a nice little. If you just if you undo and just wrap that in an object.values, we'll see what we get out.
It's a good call.
Right after the profile cache, not at the end.
What am I doing?
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Wait, doesn't that give us the same thing? Oh wait, no, it was an object before. Now it's an array of objects. Yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
Alright.
So now we can just map over it, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So we want to map over this, and for each profile, we want to display some stuff. We have an ID and a username, so we probably don't care about IDs. We care about them for our key, of course. The ID, and then our profile.username.
.slice 02. If we're doing what you're saying, Tyler, right?
Yep.
Cool. So we just want the first two characters.
Oh, nice.
And maybe uppercase them. I don't know. I'm pushing the boat out here, I know.
Have to get to Flutter at some point. Lowercase. That's what we want. To uppercase. Cool. And
Oh, nice.
then that can be in a circle. There are just like convenient
Rounded full.
Rounded full.
And you want to give it a bit of padding and a background color and stuff like that. Drop shadow, you know, we can go wild.
I think we can give it a width and height, and like I feel like if we give him padding, then depending on what the character is, the size will be different. Yeah. So we want to just fix the size, width, and height to something. What could it be?
What happened to my? It was just telling me. All right, there we go. Let's go like with
6,
6,
8. I don't know. I have no idea.
And height 6.
Yeah,
I like
and then
that.
we'll need flex box as well to center it all.
Yep.
Flex. And we're not getting any color. Background green 200 is what I was going for. Look at that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then we want item center, justify center.
Maybe you can change the size to 8 or so.
And we'll change this to 8 and this to 8. Look at that.
Nice.
Nice. Not seeing it yet, but oh yeah, I'm seeing it now. Oh, this is beautiful.
Do we want to wrap it in a div flex row it up?
Yeah.
How are you planning on implementing the horizontal scrolling, Tyler? Just overflow.
Yeah. I was gonna go with that. I guess I wasn't thinking too much, but
so these are all the people. Actually, that'd be cool if so if these are all like little dots with a particular background color for the people that are in the room, maybe we could have like all of the dots of the people that aren't in the room as gray dots, and then clicking them could replace this input box up here. Like clicking the name could just.
Sounds like we're expanding the scope.
That's what we do. That's what we have to do. Otherwise, we're going to have to learn Flutter. No, I'm very excited for Flutter.
You know what would be cool if once we have presence in Supabase, we can gray out those people that are not online currently, and then we can show a green color.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, that would be very cool. That would be like a full-blown setup. We're gonna have to come back to this, huh?
Yeah.
That's what we do. We're not actually finishing Next.js. We're just taking a break for a little while to go to Flutter, you know.
But yeah, no, that's a really good idea. We'll probably like use this for other cool things that we want to show off in this stream as well. Like Thor was saying that it would be cool to build like a multi-action search box like what Slack has. So as the easiest version of that, just having something where you can type text into it, or you can just drag and drop an image and it will like upload it to Supabase file storage. So that might be something that we'll also look at in the future. So you have not seen the end of this when we say we are done with the Next.js application. All right, let's put this in a div. And then we will move all of this up into here. And then our div can have class name of flex.
Maybe a bit of a
There we go.
gap as well. Gap 2.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
so nice. Look at that. And then
Lovely.
maybe some margin Y.
That's padding Y.
That is padding
I
Y.
don't think it matters, but
I mean, yeah, that's the same thing here, but yeah, probably better to have margin all the way around. Cool. So we have all of our
Yeah,
different
pretty.
users. Do we want to make a request for the ones that are all of our other users, or no?
well, I feel like we need a chat room to test, like with the horizontal scrolling, right? So we just need to add a bunch of users. I can throw you some usernames just from the.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
It's broken.
classic.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, overflow it.
All right, so we do overflow Y scroll. What would that be in?
X scroll, and I think it's gonna happen. The same thing's gonna happen from the previous one, where directly setting overflow X scroll on this flex box doesn't really do the trick, but you have to apply that to the parent of it. So we can wrap it in another div, and then apply overflow X on that parent div.
Also, I am just going to make this padding because otherwise the scroll bar is
Nice.
inside it. All right, which really doesn't matter because we're about to move the scroll bar anyway. So we want to wrap this in another div.
Tyler, you got to be careful dishing out CSS tricks like this though, because I'll start asking you things about my CSS.
So this is
Can
where we
ask
want
me
to
anything.
this is where we want to have this one.
If I can provide tips to you, Alaister, that'll be a huge win for me.
I'm just faking it until I make it.
So because these are shrinking down, I'm assuming that we want a
what is it called? Is it
It's
called
like shrink 0.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what John's just typed because I missed it. There we go.
Oh,
Beautiful.
sweet. Beautiful.
That is very cool. Can you get rid of horizontally scrolling bars? Is that an accessibility no?
Probably. I'll tell you that a really difficult CSS problem to solve, though, that I've solved like once and don't remember how I did it. But you see how there's like space at the front of all the items? So there's like a nice little gap. Getting that same space at the end of all the horizontally scrolling items is a nightmare. Like for some reason, it's just like impossible to do.
Do you mean this little gap here?
Yeah. So at the very end, but then that little gap doesn't exist at the end. It just like stops at the end of the items. Not that we should try it because we'll spend the rest of the stream.
No, let's do that. Let's build that. Let's do that. Awesome.
Yeah, this is pretty.
This is really pretty. This is making
nice,
me happy.
Yeah.
The final, should we add like a title attribute just so if you hover it, you get the
like
browser
that.
name for the user?
That's
idea.
nice.
Whoops.
On the P.
On the P, we can just. Oh, this is like really simple, right? Like we can just do title.
like that.
Like literally
nice.
title. That's so good.
Oh yeah.
And then we hover and we get.
There you go, Tyler.
We hover and we get the real Thor, and we hover and we get Alaister.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Nice.
Awesome. Cool. What do we want to do next?
How did I miss this comment on the YouTube comment? Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right.
Yeah, I was not going to try.
Kuzaim.
Yeah, here for Tyler.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
Me too.
Thanks, man.
Sorry, John.
That's fine. That's because of this, isn't it? That's fine. I understand. And also, yeah, we missed all of the comments that were helping us out with all kinds of TypeScript-y things and telling me to just control full stop and control space and all of the things that would have been helpful. Cool. All right. What do we want to do next? Do we want to do renaming this thing?
Yeah, renaming, or let's do renaming and then log in login buttons, but that was surprisingly efficient.
Yeah, that was
I think,
that was really easy.
yeah, but
Yeah.
again, that's why we're all here for Tyler, because he suggested to use the profile case, which we already had, unlike
Yeah.
trying to set up a
I'm-
whole nother
I'm glad that
read
it worked
from-
out
Yeah,
at the end. Yeah.
nice one. And it's
He's got-
it's still wired up for real time. So John, do you want to actually, we can demo this.
Oh,
Do you want
yeah.
to create a new room and then invite
We can join
me
it. Yeah.
and Tyler, and we you should see after we type a message.
Tyler too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it won't do it, and then hopefully, let me refresh. I've got to wait until I'm added.
All right.
And now
I've
if
added you
I
now.
send a message,
Oh,
we
yeah.
should pop up at the bottom as well.
Wow. Nice.
That is super cool. That's really cool. I like that a lot. And yeah, me as well. If I
Oh, maybe we
load
should filter yourself out. That might be a reasonable thing to do.
Mm.
Although no, it's Facebook Messenger shows you in the chat room. You're all in the chat room. It's fine. Everything's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Yeah, let's rename chats.
All right. So how do we want to do that from? Oh, actually, is that in a different component? No. If we are in a room, we've just copied and pasted a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. Or, so here we could have the name of the chat. Do we have that at this point?
I think we might have.
Surely. We've got the room ID. Yeah, so we're passing that through to. Okay, cool. So we don't have a name yet, so we could do a fetch for the room. Wait, we're grabbing all the. So we're grabbing the messages in the messages component, aren't we? Here. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're loading the room information other than at the index.tsx, the home page. So
Cool. So we'll make a request for it.
I think so.
All right, let's do it. Const room name and set room name. I mean, we could get all of the room data, but we don't really need it, do we?
Yeah.
Like we probably just want to fetch
just
back
pull out the name.
that bit. A string. And this is going to be, I guess, an empty string initially. And then in a use effect, we don't have any use effects yet. Not that we would want to share use effects. We would definitely want it to have its own use effect.
Well, if we're going down that argument, I'd just be saying use React query.
Oh, we could
check it
refactor
out
this,
yet.
actually. Should we chuck out what we've got so far and
Well,
refactor
just rewrite it all in React query. Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. We'll never be finished. And then once we finish that refactor, we can do another refactor, rewrite it in something else.
That sounds like a great idea. All right, and we get back some data, which is going to be our room name. Actually, we'll just leave it as data. From awaiting a call to Supabase. From our rooms table, we want to grab just the name. And we want to do this where we match on room, the ID equal to room ID, right?
Yep, I think so.
And
We
then
can add
let's just make
single as
sure-
well.
Sorry?
We can probably add single at the end.
Yeah, good call. And it's an ID, so we don't need to do limit.
Yep.
And then I think, we also need to add the room ID to the dependency array, because if you remember, the room ID is like null on the first render, and then also wrap probably an if around the call to get room name, because that room ID is null on the first render, and we don't want to fetch anything until it's not null.
Good call.
Other way around. If room ID.
Yes. If we have a room ID, then we want to go and get the room
Nice.
name. And so now we're console logging out the name, which is null. So when we are setting our room name here, we could say if
we can just set it, yeah, data or
Oh yeah, I like that.
data. Is it data.name?
Oh yeah. Data.name.
or untitled. And so, yeah, this one doesn't have a name. So name is set to null. And so this will be null. And therefore, we'll use our nullish coalescing to set it to the string untitled.
Do you want to just check that the on a room that does have a name already, that we get the correct data down via the console log?
Yeah. Except I've
And
now
you've lost
taken
your
away
link to
my
home.
lovely link, which takes me back to here. All right. Week 6. We have a look in here.
Nice.
We've got
Oh,
week
yeah.
6. Awesome. So now while we have a name, let's go and display it. So where we were displaying our Happy Chat before, I guess this shouldn't actually be a link anymore. This should probably be just a H1 displaying the name.
Sure.
Room name. 6. Cool.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
So how are we going to do the editing of it?
Well, you know how I'm like such a big fan of the built-in browser pop-ups, the alert boxes.
Oh yeah.
We could just use one of those with an input box in it and grab it that way. It's like super hacky, but it would work. You can use a confirm or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
On a
Like that.
window.prompt, isn't it?
Oh, like
Window.prompt.
one of those.
It'll be
One
nice
of
and
those.
quick. Yeah.
We could make it content editable, and then anytime we actually change the value, it's
Oh,
just
that's a dangerous game. You could put like HTML in there and something and stuff then.
All right. Okay, let's do it your way. I like it. I like
it's
hacky fun
funny.
thing.
Come on.
All right,
It's like,
let's do it. So is this when we click it?
or we could even do it like, well, it's not mobile accessible, but you could do on double click, because that's like, but no, we should just do it on a single click, because yeah, then you can use it on mobile.
I'm just
Isn't it just
getting
pointer or
distracted
something?
by making a cursor pointer.
Oh, here's a pointer.
Sorry, what were you saying, Tyler?
No,
what were
never
you
mind.
saying,
Yeah.
Tyler, about the something?
Double tap?
Well, let's just on click. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
instead of an H1, we should probably make it a button then for accessibility. The styles, it should still look the same because we got text for Excel.
How good is Tailwind?
Yeah, Tailwind's sweet.
I love it. Yeah, it's so nice.
Changing that one thing from a H1 to a button. Like if we save and have a look, it still looks the same. And now we don't actually need the cursor pointer, I don't think.
I
but
think
if
you
we
might still need the cursor pointer.
Do we?
No.
Maybe if
Never
we change something, maybe it'll break. But that's probably like one of the things that sold me the most on Tailwind. Initially, I was just like, it's just inline styles. You just have like, yeah, JSX markup just looks ugly now. And yeah, I think that was the selling point, was like unstyling everything. And I know you can just do a CSS reset, or you can do like normalized CSS. There are a bunch of solutions to this. But the fact that I just didn't even need to think about it anytime I used Tailwind, it just reset everything to either 0 or like sensible defaults. So you can do things like this. You can just change the button, the H1 to a button, and nothing changes on the page. And then you think about styling as a completely separate thing from what your markup is, which hopefully makes you write more accessible, proper, well-formed HTML and semantic HTML, because you don't have to spend all that time like unstyling things to make them look nice. That's my rant about Tailwind. We want an on-click. And then we can even do this like even more dirty and just put it like anonymous function right on the on-click handler.
Nice.
I mean, we are using prompt after all. It's only fair that we do something
We
like
have
this.
to get the return value and save it to Supabase. So
Yeah, we
We're
might
gonna
want to pull it
write
out
about-
into a function because it's gonna get kind of large.
Yeah.
All right. Handle room rename, which can come up here. And that's actually an await, isn't it? Like that's a promise that we get. Like
No, it's not even. It's hack. It's synchronous.
Way back when
That's
promises
bad.
was not around.
It literally just like blocks the whole page and waits for the
Yeah.
user to. It's crazy.
Awesome.
We take it. This is like throwback, not Thursday, but Friday, or maybe Thursday if it is Thursday for you. Look at
That's
that.
awesome.
Beautiful.
I mean, that's like a nicely styled form.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
this is
actually not
a
that
modal
bad.
that's yeah, this looks better than what I would style as a modal. So this is fantastic. I mean, just look at our chat application. Look at the color scheme on that.
It's beautiful, John. It's my favorite.
It is my favorite too. We should probably just console log this out, make sure we're getting what we expect.
Just gonna go in sidetrack here, but have either one of you messed with the official dialogue element that was added to?
Oh yeah, that's super cool.
I haven't done anything with it, but
I haven't used it either.
Yeah, I wonder what it's like.
They're adding heaps of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, we don't need Bootstrap anymore.
There's lots of love for Tailwind in the chat. It looks
like. Oh yeah. Chris, Tailwind. Oh yeah.
Love the Next.js Tailwind stack. As a self-taught junior developer, these videos are great help. Awesome. Thank you. Because sometimes I feel like we're just rambling, and maybe as a self-taught junior developer, maybe you should remain self-taught and not be taught by us using things like prompt and alert to handle our error cases and our user input cases. But yes, no, that is awesome. Very cool. Alaister was also a self-taught developer.
I feel like saying
I feel
self-taught.
like who isn't? Everybody's
well,
a self-taught developer.
I'm an internet-taught developer.
Yeah. Stack Overflow.
Yeah.
Chris got some love for Tailwind, and words of a dev during first week or a senior dev on the decline. Let's use a browser prompt. Absolutely. Yeah. Feeling that decline.
You can blame it on me.
And yeah, Innes is saying Next.js and Tailwind work well together, and Supabase is the icing on the cake. Yeah, DM us so that we can hit you up with swag. And Chris is saying that Tailwind, Supabase, Vercel made their life so much easier. That is fantastic.
Yeah, no,
that's our exact stack we're using here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So good, isn't it?
What were we doing? We were
renaming.
So now here we can await a call to Supabase from our room. We want to update the name to be our new name, and we want to do that where we are matching on our ID being our room ID. And let's just see what we get back from this. And now if we click here to get our beautiful modal and say, what is this? We get a 404.
Good times.
ID,
have a look at the requests and see what the error is saying.
All right. Our response. That's not
Very
gonna be
helpful.
Oh, that's what a 404 is. Thank you. Our response in here. Yeah, no. All right. What have we done wrong here? Not found is interesting.
We did write an RLS rule, right, to allow updating of the name.
But that shouldn't be not found, right? That should just
Yeah.
give us back an error, a 400, 401
Did
or
we
whatever.
write role of security rules to allow edits on the rooms table? I feel like that was just adding people to the room. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have it. I've just looked. We don't have an RLS rule for rooms
Oh,
updating.
okay.
We've got for select, but it looks like, yeah.
We are definitely going to need one of those.
404 does seem odd, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, it does.
Because it should, yeah, like it should still, yeah, try it and fail to try it.
4.3 would be nice. Is 4.3 the 4-bit access or
yeah,
something like that, right? Yeah, 4.3 would make sense. I feel like, but
if only we knew someone at Supabase that could fix it. Oh well.
Finally.
Let's have a look at the policies. So we have, for our rooms, we only have a select policy, so we don't have an insert at all. So we could quickly just say,
I think we want to update, don't we?
Yeah.
Wait, how does? Yeah. How does this work? How does that?
We're using RPC to create a room, so the reason why we don't have insert is because we're using. John, do you want to take it? I feel like your explanation behind the, security definer and everything is so much better than my definition. So,
sure.
John, why do we not have an insert security policy?
The reason we don't, the reason that it's working is because we have declared a function separate from this. So basically, when we click that button to create a new room, that's going off and using something called RPC, which stands for Remote Procedure Call, which is calling a Postgres function from our database, which is this one here, this create room. And if we have a look at this, this is doing a few things. Sorry if you can't see it very well there in this little no, that's even worse. Yeah, so we're just inserting into rooms that new name that we're passing across, which we could be passing across a name. Anyway, when we click the button, that's when we should be doing the prompt. Click the button, get a prompt, and then send that to RPC to write that. Anyway, so if we're writing that new value to our rooms table, and so and then we're inserting into our room participants the room ID and the profile ID. And so the reason that we need to do this is because you are only able to read messages and write messages and do anything in a room that you are a participant in. And so we had a problem a couple of streams ago where you create a new room, that room is created, but then you need to actually be in that room to be able to invite other people to the room or to be able to write in it or anything like that. And so this directly inserts you into the room participants. And then I don't think we can actually get to the part that we were just talking about. But when you declare this function, you can determine whether you want this to be a security level of security definer or security invoker. And so this one is security definer, which means that basically it runs at a higher level of access privileges, meaning that it just completely sidesteps RLS. And so we don't actually need to write an RLS policy for this if this is the only way that we're exposing to create a room. Yeah.
Nice.
Great.
Cool. So so we didn't end up writing a policy for insert because that function is sidestepping RLS, so we don't need to write that policy. But now we'll need a new policy for actually being able to update it. And so do we just want this to be the creator of the room, or do we want anyone in the room?
I think the original plan was to make it like Facebook Messenger, where anyone can change the name. If you're in the room, you can update the name of the room. So maybe you can just copy the other rule and paste it in here.
Yeah, So that
Besides,
I
I
think
feel
is
like
just
we don't have a concept
Oh.
of creator of a room. Like we're not storing that information on the database anywhere, so it has to be anybody within the room, I think.
right. So it's this one, right? Just if they're a participant of the room. Update. Anyone in room can update room. So yeah, so this would have access to the room ID and also the auth.uid of the person who's trying to perform this action.
It'll be
So this would
ID instead of room ID, right?
Yes,
Yep.
because this is on the rooms table. And as we found out in the last stream, this one runs. Oh, damn, I've already forgotten. This one runs when we're doing the update. And this one runs after as an additional check. Damn it.
No,
the way-
I was just leaving you out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You're on it.
One's a
It's
read
like,
and one's a write, right? Like one's the update and one's no.
The
That's
way
not
I
right.
think about it is using checks against the existing data within the database, whereas with checks against, well, not exactly checks against the incoming data, but what the data would look like if it were to perform that update. Like, so yeah,
That's the
I like to
one.
think of it as like existing data and incoming data.
yeah. Nice.
Why would you care that the existing data
You don't have to. It's optional.
Okay, cool. So we are going to save that policy and then hopefully, well, not, yeah, we'll see whether this fixes the issue that we were having. Because yeah, 404 still seems like a weird choice. So if I give us some data, no, that was it. Okay.
Oh, great.
Cool. And so then we
Beautiful.
get back what we've inserted into there. So this could be a good time to use some. Let's use Optimistic UI to update this immediately so that we don't have to wait around for this to actually write to Supabase, because we already have the name and that's the only bit that actually really matters. So I reckon as soon as we get back the name, let's set our room name to be our new name. And then we make that request to Supabase. And then we don't actually care about the data that comes back. So we can just console.error, our error.message, even though this is completely oh wait, no, we're alerting. That's right. Let's keep it consistent. Alert with our error.error message.
I think
So if we actually
message.
get an error, sorry?
Error.message.
Right. If we actually get a
And you need to like if error.
Good call. Yeah, so if we do get an error, we want to show that to the user. Otherwise, we don't actually care about the data that comes back because we already have the data here. So we can just set room name immediately. This could be null. And so we'll just say it's either that or, again, untitled, I guess.
I think when it's null is when the user presses cancel or something. So we can just wrap that entire thing in a if statement.
We can just return early even.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So like right after new name, just return because we don't want to keep going.
Yeah.
And then you can get rid of that untitled. Whoa.
Whoa.
And we can even go like a step further if we're doing Optimistic UI. And before we set the room name, we can grab a reference to the previous room name. And then in our if error block, we can reset it to the previous error name. So if something goes wrong, it will put it back to what it was just before because it didn't save in the database.
I like it. Production app.
Yeah, it's an excellent
Production
idea.
app quality error handling.
So this is just going to be room name, right?
Yeah, I can't. Well, however yeah.
And then we would just say set room name to be old name.
we can probably do it before the alert as well, because the alert will be blocking. So when the alert comes up while they're reading the error, it will be showing the new name still until they click OK.
Good call. Cool. All right,
Let's
our
try it.
production level application is ready to go. So now if we want to change this to Supabase room, then that
Wow.
updates immediately. If we want to change it to cool room, and if we want to change it to an annoyingly long thing that then breaks our application, we can do that too. So let's just pretend we didn't see that, because we have a nice production ready. Nope. Good room. We got a good room right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, we can handle that stuff when we do the Flutter app, right?
Probably.
Excellent. So we've still got this to enter in our usernames. We've updated our name.
I think we want probably the last, what have we got, 24 minutes? Well, and we can probably do the placeholder, but before that, some login links and maybe a home link. So maybe like just above that green strip on the left side, we could have like a little bit of text that says home, and then on the right-hand side, we can have like login register.
Cool. Let's do it. Do we want to do that all the way up at the top level of our application? Like, do we want to wrap this around in _app?
Well, I think we can put them separately, because we don't want a home link on the home link, right? We've already got one that says Happy Chat. So
True.
we can just show home when we're in the messages page, or whatever it's called, room ID.
All right. Cool. So from our room ID page, excellent. That works.
Yeah,
so
nice.
We want that to be our home button. So this can be a link with an A. That's not an A. That's an A with home.
Was that your web developer Crocodile Dundee impression?
Yeah. We want that to go to Slack. What is happening here? Where's my K gone? All right. I thought we had that before. Maybe we did do some cleanup. All right. Cool. Now in here we have our home button. And then from here we can go to one of our rooms, and then that's called untitled. So we give it a name, and then we have a name, and we can go back to home. And so now we just want like a logged in, logged out state over here.
Yep. Yeah. Why not?
So we might put these in a div.
Justify between, isn't it?
Yeah. What's
so
this?
You'll need another div or something, and then we can just start with login, log out, login register links.
To start.
Do we want to? Do you want to change that position? Maybe. Do we want to like not show the create room button if a user is not logged in?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So maybe we can just toggle the display there. When the
wait, we don't have a create room. You mean invite?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking in the home page. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, right there. That one. New room. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So we want to have a. Why didn't this one show up?
Sorry. I thought we would. Probably made a mistake. I thought we were on the home screen, not this.
Well, it did make me just realize that we're going to need this on both, because if we come back to here, we're probably still going to want the bit on the right that shows the login. But let's just build it here, and then we can move it somewhere else.
Cool.
So we want this to be flex, and we want it to be justified between. We go to one of these. We've got login over here. So then we want that to be based on, or we only want to show that if we're not currently signed in. Do we have like a user already in scope? This component's getting big. All right, I'm just going to say const user equals Supabase dot user. This is an interesting problem. Oh, this is actually going to be a very frustrating problem. All right, we're gonna have to fix it too, because if I now use this user to determine which thing we're going to render, if I say if we have a user, then we want to display something. Otherwise, we want to display this login. Yeah, we can just do this. So if we have a user, we want to dump out. That's going to be a big object, isn't it? So that's going to look ugly. But then if we don't, then we want to have a login button. Yeah. All right. Fine. Let's just do user. And we'll just do this. All right, cool.
Looks great.
I mean, feature complete. Let's let's move on to the next one. Where is their actual name? User.metadata.username. What am I doing? Let me get rid of.
So yeah, are you saying that the problem's going to be that we need the user to update in React?
Yeah. So if we open up the console, we're going to have not there. But if we refresh, we're going to get no. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm imagining the problem.
No, that's the problem right there. That big red error, but hydration, because it's when it pre-renders on the server, it doesn't have the user.
That is what I was thinking. I don't know why I just skipped that. Yeah, so this is because Next.js uses server-side rendering for the first render of your page. That's rendered on the server, and then it gets sent over as a rendered HTML page, which is what you load in the browser. And then that's when useEffect and all of those other things get called once the hydration has happened, which just means once you have JavaScript running. And so, and so the problem is that on the server, our supabase.auth.user doesn't exist, because that is something that lives in local storage and is coming to us from our Supabase client, which gets initialized on the client side.
Only if we have some kind of helper function or something, right?
What is our helper function? How would you solve this?
No idea. Is there like a handy GitHub repo or something?
I'm grabbing a code snippet off the old Supabase docs, which I'm going to send to you, John.
Wait, I thought this was a build-up to introduce our auth helper.
Yeah, we'll be here all week.
No, yeah, we could do it properly, and we could introduce our auth helpers, which are then would do all of our server-side stuff. And set a cookie for who our user is, and then that would be available on the server side. But there's actually a easier way to do this with. Oh, we've got something from Alaister. There is that, but we can do it. We can do it even more betterer. Not even more betterer, even more hackier to match our hacky application. And we could make a new component here called header.tsx, and then we can move this stuff into our header.
Just why don't we make the whole header the header, including the link to home?
Good call. So I guess this whole div, this can be our header component. Header component can be export default function. And we can return this stuff. We need to import our link. And we need to bring across our user from here. Which means we also need our import Supabase from Supabase.js. No, that's not what we want. We want this from our utils.
The Supabase client, as it were.
Yes. Wait, no, we just called it Supabase, right?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, cool. So now we have this. So now that we have this header component, we can actually, when we bring it in here, because we'll need to import this into our component to be able to use it, we can import dynamic from next dynamic, and then I think we can say const header equals, right, I'm just going to look this up. Dynamic.
The only thing, right, after a login occurs, it's not going to refresh the user, right? Because it might. Will it? That's the only thing. Like, that's why with the on-auth state change,
that's true. It might not. But let's have a look.
It will detect a login and update the state.
All right. We'll see if this works, and then if it doesn't, we'll do it there. But yeah, we can say we want our header to come in from .. components. And then come in from our header component. And now this will run client side. So yeah, Alaister, you might be right. This might actually break for that, like changing our logged in state, which we can fix in a second. But yeah, now if we were to go to Happy Chat and we were to refresh, oh, that error's still there. Never mind. I was wrong. I take it all back. But why was I wrong? Header.
I think the dynamic still works server side, right? It still does the import and pre-renders. Does it not?
I thought this pulled it in later. Okay, never mind. I take it all back. And we are going to do the proper way, which is the way that Alaister linked to me, which is we are going to create. Now, do we want to create this at the
No,
top
just do it in the
our...
header component. It'll work perfectly.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm just reading the dynamic import. User import mode. They also work with SSR. So
right.
There you go.
I don't know why I thought that was a solution to that problem. Hope I haven't written a blog or something about that somewhere. All right, use effect. So we're creating a new user state variable here. It's equal to null initially, and then we're saying use effect. So on mount, we want to call set user, and we want to put session !user or null. And then anytime the auth state changes, so anytime we our user signs in or signs out, or anytime we read that user from local storage or whatever, then we want to set the user to be our new user. So now, rather than just using this directly, if we
just delete that line, right? Yeah, nice.
This is pretty much bringing all the auth related logic to the client side, right?
Yeah. We needed that use state, but you need to import use state, and then you can type it as user or null, and user will come from at Supabase.js. Supabase.js, like Chris in chat is pretty much doing exactly what we're doing here.
User or null, is that right?
Perfect.
Cool. Yeah, Chris has it sorted. Yeah, so that's, yeah. When I was saying, do we want to do it here or do we want to do it higher? You can do this at the top of your application. So in something like _app.js, and then you can expose this via context so that everything in your React application has access to it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you don't need to keep doing this over and over again. Cool.
Nice.
So won't this
This-
still? So this
No,
would be
because
null.
it's null on use effect only runs client side. So it will be null both on the first render of the client side and when it's pre-rendering server side.
Of course. Okay. So it gets rid of the mismatch during hydration because it's so it renders on the client as still as a null user, and then use effect runs, it populates that user, and we'll show the other one, which is how we want it to work. All right, cool. So now if we refresh, header is not defined because we got rid of our import here.
Well,
so,
we can import it directly because you were doing the dynamic thing, right?
Yes. So we can import header from /./components/header. We can get rid of this link that we're no longer in. And now if we refresh, boom.
Nice.
And
Nice.
no more error in the
No
console.
errors. Wow, nice.
Even if we refresh.
Crushing bugs.
Crushing bugs. Let's get rid of this console log while we're here. Keeping everything clean. Console.log. Cool. Finished
Sweet.
application or what?
Yeah, well, maybe let's just add a sign up link as well, or register next to the login link.
Good call.
Or
So yeah,
a sign out button.
Yeah, we don't have a sign out button, do we?
We've got 9 minutes. We can do it, or 8 minutes.
All right. So we want if our user is,
and we also need to include the header on the homepage.
Should we do our trick from before just so that 0, 2, and copy across those styles? So we've got it in a circle, or should we just do the name? Let's just do the name. All right. This doesn't need to be in a pre-tag anymore, though, so we could just make it a spam.
Spam.
And a logout.
I think you'll need a div there because of our Flexbox settings, right? Instead of a fragment. Otherwise, the username will be in the middle, which is, I don't know if that's what you want, but you could actually wrap the whole conditional in a div to have like the right-hand side div, because when we add our register link, we can do a fragment in there, and then that div will serve as the grouping element.
Good call. Okay. And so now we want a logout.
So you did need the fragment after all. You needed a div and a fragment.
Cool. So now we want a link.
I think we'll just do a button for this one, right?
Yes. Good call. We can have a button with an on click that's going to
and
handle.
This one you truly can do. Well, you could do it inline because it's just Supabase to auth.signout.
True. Whoa. All right. Supabase.out. Going to sign out our user, and then that helpful little snippet that we have here, because signing out will change the state of our user. That's going to call this on or state changed hook again, which is going to set our user to the new user, which is null.
Nice.
But if we're inside a room, though, wouldn't the message information still sit there if we log out from a room?
So cheeky router.push right after?
Yeah,
or before?
yeah. I was thinking that.
Oh, well, you need some curlies.
All right. Let's move this out into a handle logout. And then here we can have a handle logout. And that's going to be an async function because we're going to wait for this thing to be done. Actually, wait, is this even a...
I don't actually know. It is?
Yeah, it gives us
wow.
backup from us. All right. So we want to wait for that to be finished. And then once that's finished, we want to say fix that up in a second. We want to say router.push/. So we want to go back to the home page. We're going to get router by getting the use router hook and then saying const router is equal to use router.
Nice.
Sweet.
And now, yeah, that should be all good. Maybe we want to actually we
div?
could just put this.
No, but we do it on the div because it will apply for both. We only have to do it in one place then for our links as well, because we want spacing between login and register, right? So we can just do like flex gap 2.
Oh yeah, good call. I was thinking these could display above and below, but yeah, no, that's better. That's better.
It works.
I like it.
Good enough.
I am just going to make this text small. And why does this keep moving around? Nope, small did not work. Extra small? What is working? Okay. What is it when you get like extra small? 2x?
I think excess is. I think the smallest is excess. You got to remember you're 2 times zoomed in your browser.
That's really small.
No.
Oh well. Cool. And then I'm gonna make the text gray 800 or like 600. This looks terrible. All right, start again. Build the whole app from scratch. Getting rid of this. Take it all back. All right. Cool. We have our beautiful log out button. And when we click that, it's going to log our user out and it's going to send them back to here where we should actually have our header component.
So yeah, we'll stick the header component and then we'll add a register link, and then I think we'll be about out of time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got to go. Cool. So we want this to be in _app.tsx. Is that what we're thinking? So we want to wrap this around.
If you want to, yeah, why not?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it will appear in quite the right spot, but we'll find out. It might be at the very top of the screen. I was just imagining you pasting it into the other file as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but
this is not going to look good.
We can take a look.
It's not too bad.
No, it's not as bad as I thought.
Oh, does it mess up the scroll? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow, Chris, nice comment. I like the
question,
guesses.
Yeah.
John, are you offended?
I'm not in the US. I wonder what makes you think that though. I wonder if my accent is just like very influenced by all of the American TV and things that I watch, or whether Alaister just sounds more Australian than me. But no, Alaister
love
and
towards Celtics.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
no, they're doing great, aren't they?
They are. Well, yeah. I don't know if you're not up to date with NBA finals, just tune out for a second. But yeah, Celtics are doing very well. Tomorrow will be game 4 of the NBA finals. So we'll see. It's not going to be a win or lose situation yet. It's not going to determine the whole series, but we'll see. All right.
Yeah. So, well, to answer the question, John is not far from me, actually. I think you sound more Australian than I do, because I've got like a with British parents, I got more of a weird Australian accent, whereas John is
right.
You just yeah.
People always say I'm like all over the place though. Like I get like like South Africa, and
Interesting.
maybe I'm just maybe I just say a whole bunch of words in very different ways and just throw everyone off. But yes,
Yeah.
no, Alaister and I are in Melbourne, Australia, and Tyler is
He's in the
lucky enough
coolest
to be-
place of all,
Yeah.
Japan.
I'm in Tokyo. Yeah.
It's awesome. And Chris loves our accents.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What were we doing? Headers.
Header.
Adding
Yep.
header to the
Headers. Where was it before?
is in the
Alright.
yeah.
So that should work
Yep.
for this page, and we will take it out of here. We want to put it into our rooms or our index page. Above all this. Oh no, we've got right. It would replace. See, this is
No, it
confusing. Wait, no,
goes
it's
above, it
sitting
goes
above.
above that H1. Yeah.
That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it at all.
Oh, there you go. Ines is saying, yeah, thought I was English. Yeah, to Australians, I sound like more English because I enunciate more syllables than are needed.
I was going
It's
to say
alright.
more vowels, implying the you thing, but Australia does that as well. So never mind.
I'm not offended because I am a dual citizen. So there you go. I get the benefit of double
nice.
passports.
Very nice.
Nice.
Mm.
Great streams. Keep it up. That is awesome to hear. Thank you. I'm glad that
Thank
they
you, yeah.
are helpful. And yeah, I don't think we've seen you. Oh, maybe you've tuned in at the.
I think Chris has tuned in before, perhaps.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. But hopefully this
Let
is
us
a more
know.
convenient time for people. Yeah.
All right, John. Last thing, can I have a register link as well next to the login link for the
All right. You
unauthenticated
can
state?
have it. If you must.
I like how you've strategically left that message up as well.
Wait, which message?
No, Tyler's done it.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Take it down.
We need the inspiration to get through the last little bit. You want it above? I mean, left or right?
I'm not bothered.
I feel like just you want to register before you log in. Generally,
enough.
if it's the first time you've come to the app.
Beautiful.
Right, beautiful.
Oh, nice.
And now,
Nice.
yeah, I won't actually step through it because I'll have to remember another password. But I can definitely remember Thor's password.
I think you need to
It was
do
there, wasn't it?
Thor's
I didn't
email
even
as
type
well.
it. I saved it last time.
Or not.
Nope.
No, the email. It's an email, not a username.
Of course. Thor had changed his password. Invalid login credentials. Was it .io?
Who knows?
How dare he?
He can't change his login credentials. We haven't built that.
Oh, okay. I've just forgotten then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
That's great.
No,
All right.
can't hack his password.
Well,
right.
maybe we can just push as the last thing then. If you can't
Let's
remember
get
the
everyone
login
else in.
credentials.
Hey, that'll actually sidestep me needing to log in because I'm currently logged in on Vercel, but I'm not logged in locally. So that works. What are we, like week 7? And we'll push those up.
Well, we'll do that. Chris just discovered Supabase only recently.
All right.
Amazing.
What are your
How,
thoughts?
yeah, how are you feeling? How are you feeling the experience so far? Let us know.
All right. Well, this is building.
Whoa! What happened there?
Ooh,
What
that
was
was
all that
scary.
flashing? Have we broken
Yeah,
it?
sorry. I should have done a warning. It's just trying to get it on the most up-to-date version of it. There we go. Now it's deployed, and I'm successfully logged in as Thor. So now, if we were to create a new room and say the happy room, then I'll need everyone's usernames anyway. But if you want to dump your username in the chat, I can quickly add you in, and we can test that this is working. Alaister and Tyler should be in. The chat UI looks way nicer than the login UI. Thank you. Yeah, this beautiful color palette is much nicer than the the
Sharing the link,
standard.
I don't think works because they need to add. Like you can maybe if Ines is still here, you can add him because his username I think is the same from memory. Who else has usernames here? Who knows?
See, we need our big button to go and add everyone. That's what we should add. Add everyone. Invite all to channel, to private channel. Awesome. All right, cool. I reckon this is working. I reckon we should leave it there.
Beautiful.
Is this the end of the Next.js streams? Are we done now?
This is it. Yeah.
This is it.
We're calling it.
Final application for now, and we'll see if Tyler does anything amazing and magical during the Flutter stream where we're like, damn, we have to add that into the Next.js app.
Yeah, well, it's not the end of all the streams. It's we'll be back next week, same time, but we'll be doing Flutter and a mobile app where Tyler is going to be schooling myself and John about how to build mobile apps. Yeah,
hopefully it'll be fun. Yeah,
it is going to be awesome. And quick shout outs before we head off. Make sure you go and hit that subscribe and the little notification bell on the Supabase YouTube channel, and then you'll get notified if we do keep randomly changing the time and just running these happy hour streams at random times. But no, we should be sticking to this this time block from now on. But yeah, make sure you give us a subscribe and subscribe to notifications so you can hear when we do other things as well. If Twitch is more your thing, head on over to twitch.tv/Supabase_TV and give us a follow there, or just to make us feel good and make us feel like we have more supporters there. Give us a follow on Twitter at twitter.com/Supabase. And you can head on over to our Discord, where we have a whole bunch of members, 7,120 members. You could track this across each stream. We could see how much it's.
I think we only recently crossed 7K. So thank you for joining us. Come say hello. We're all in there.
Yeah. I'm at Meyers_IO on Twitter. Tyler is at D Shukert Jr.
Yep.
Or DSHUKERTJR.
I like that your stream dropped just to like completely not show your Twitter.
What? Well, we need to go back. There I am with my awesome Supabase gang sign.
Is that what it is?
Is that what that is? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's not that clear. Yeah, it's the logo, and I've got the green behind me. It was part of the tutorials course. But yes, follow Alaister at Alaister Young, and yeah, we'll make sure all the other links of all the things that we talked about will be in the description of the YouTube video. So if you missed the start, or if you want to send this to a friend or watch it later, it will be available on YouTube.
Nice.
Sweet. Thanks for watching.
Sweet. Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of your happy hours, whatever time happy hours are for you at the moment, and enjoy your weekends. And we will see you next week.
With more Flutter stuff.
This new and improved time.
Yeah.
See you later.
See ya.
See you guys.